Hey guys, Little Daggy here again. Gonna try to wrap this up in 2 more videos. Hopefully I can get through this in another maybe 20 minutes. 2 videos, each one about 10 minutes long, hope anyway, so I can get through this. But I wanted to point out to you guys that I made a mistake when I said that I thought Dogecoin might be an ERC20 token, and I researched it, and Dogecoin is not. Okay, I also did a little bit of research about the difference between a token and a coin. I guess a coin, think of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin. They are native to their own blockchain. Okay, so Hex is how I started these videos, is not a coin, it's a token because it runs on an existing system that's already been created. Let me get to some mics here. When I made this little graphic before the other day with this Ethereum, and you got this chain, this blockchain, Ethereum is native to that blockchain. Well, Richard Heart is creating a pulse chain, and it's going to be a completely new fork. While this one continues on and keeps moving on, people have an opportunity to fork and move to a different chain that's going to be less expensive to operate, faster, cheaper. Like I said, the carbon footprint, it's not going to eat up as much electricity and power as some of the other ones out there. Okay, so it's going to be less cost and more efficient. So anyway, with that being said, when this was brought to my attention, this opportunity, I had just finished buying a little bit of silver from a coworker of mine because for a long time, I was hearing that precious metals was the way to go. Invest in precious metals, invest in precious metals. So I was buying, using my lunch money to invest in some silver. So anyway, the timing, if my friend had got this to me a little sooner, maybe I'd be in a different position financially. But everything happens for a reason, right? So anyway, with this Hex that I was introduced in the beginning, I found out that Richard Heart, the developer of Hex, is creating the Pulse, and for a period of time while they were working on developing this new fork, people could sacrifice their Hex token or any ERC20 token they could sacrifice for the cause. Now, first of all, I want to get back to I do not have a financial background. This is not necessarily financial advice. It is just like a suggestion. It's based on research that I've done on my own, and you got to do your own research and do your own homework based on some of the things that I'm going to share with you today. Okay, so there was a 19-day window where people could sacrifice their ERC20 tokens to make a political statement. For Richard Heart, there was a disclaimer. I'll actually show up the website. Energy efficient, cheaper, faster, fee burning Ethereum fork called Pulse chain. Okay, so according to this website, you could sacrifice. Now the sacrifice phase is over. If we scroll down here toward the bottom, there was a disclaimer and had to do with free speech, and it was to make a political statement. You were making a political statement and basically telling the powers that be with this political statement, you were saying F off to the existing money system. Okay, so Richard Heart, when he was asked, why are you doing this, why are you creating this fork when there's already other coins that are out there, you have the Ethereum network existing, and he said that he thought his users were just getting hosed, his users were getting taken advantage of. So with that said, this sacrifice phase is over, but I want to just explain how that went. It was a 19-day window where people could participate by sacrificing their so people could sacrifice their ERC20 tokens, and they could send their tokens to this Pulse Chain sacrifice address, and they would get credited, maybe, not guaranteed, but they would get the possibility of receiving something in return for that, okay? So let me get to a graphic that I found. Somebody else shared this on Telegram. At the time, there were points earned. I know this sounds complicated, but follow along with me. Sacrifice points for every dollar. There's this graph in this chart. The main one I want to point out to is 10,000. You would get 10,000 coins of Pulse for every dollar. Okay, now that was what would show up in your wallet after this Pulse Chain is developed. Okay, and then that's what you would receive. That's what we're all hoping to receive once we sacrifice. Okay, now it's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay. If I decide to sell in the marketplace my Pulse, and there's only two ways you can get Pulse. There's only two ways you can get Pulse. One way is to sacrifice, but the sacrifice phase is over, or buy it from somebody else who received their Pulse because of the sacrifice. Okay, that's it. That's it. It's only two ways of doing it. I want to point out that after those 19 days were over, people were still throwing money, or throwing their coins, I should say, throwing their ERC20 coins at the Ethereum Pulse Chain address. Okay, they were still sacrificing. With that said, Richard Heart had a couple of videos out telling people, stop, you're sacrificing to a closed, it's not going to happen. You're not going to receive anything for that. But Richard Heart decided as a business decision that people might throw him under the bus. There might be negative articles. So he opened it back up and he said that people could still sacrifice. Even today, you can sacrifice right now, but you're going to get a much smaller rate of return for your dollar. Okay, so I started thinking about, because there's another chart that shows what you'd be getting if you chose to sacrifice today. Now, right now, in the beginning of this first time when there was day 1, and as the days go down all the way to day 19, you were going to get bonuses, 10,000 coins for every dollar. But I do want to point out that now if we look at this chart, as the days move on, and we are right around in day 82 or 83 right now, because the 19 days has gone by. Now you are only receiving 222 per dollar. If you were to sacrifice a dollar's worth of ERC20, you're going to receive 222. But the people in the early going were getting 10,000 coins per dollar. So the rate of return is significantly different, okay? So I thought to myself, well, gee, who is doing this? I cannot imagine that anybody's going to be sacrificing still in the day 82 or day 83. Who in the world's going to be doing that? So I decided to look and say, holy moly, there's all sorts of people that are sacrificing. There's people sacrificing right and left, okay? So if I close that and pull out something else, and we go to like live right now, an hour and 47 minutes ago, somebody sacrificed still. Somebody 4 hours and 27 minutes ago, they were sending money. For this transaction hash. Well, first of all, I want to say that everything is transparent. In the blockchain ecosystem, everything is transparent. Nothing is hidden. It is from this person's wallet to the Pulse Chain sacrifice address. And then this is the quantity. This is how much. It's like $64, okay? There's 263 coins. It's not like huge money, not big money, okay? But this is the biggest one, most important one I wanted to share with you guys. This graphic, hey, you thinking about sacrificing? average sacrifice person who sacrificed got pulse, the average 000, look at all those decimals, like 4 decimals and then a 5. Okay, that the worst sacrificer got that many per dollar. Okay, wait, not per dollar, I'm sorry, that's each. That's how much they paid for one pulse. They paid this much. The worst one for one pulse was this much. Day 70, that previous chart I showed, as the days were starting to go down, now we're at like day 80 and people are still doing it. Today is day 70 on this graphic of rising prices. You're paying that. Okay, so the difference is 5,324%. That is a percentage increase from the people who sacrificed in the beginning. So then you got to ask yourself, why would I sacrifice? Maybe not. There's a lot of people saying this is why you should not sacrifice today. Stop. They're telling people don't sacrifice. But I just showed you, people are still doing it. The reason why is because there's demand. The demand is high. Everybody wants to have a piece of this pulse. And this is live. Even though people are telling them don't do this, people are still sacrificing right now. These used to be a lot faster. There was like 1 minute apart. If I went back a few days, if I go back, you'd see these are starting to slow down. These ones that are coming in, these are all purchases that are coming in. It's actually slowing down quite a bit from what it was about 5 days ago. Now, the testnet phase for the new blockchain went into test mode September 28th of 2021, and that's when these things really started to crank up, and these were going like crazy because the demand was high and people are still willing to get in on the game, if you will, and put some skin in the game. It's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay. I don't care if I sell you a pair of shoes or a pack of gum. It's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay. And these people are paying a premium compared to what the original sacrificers got. The original sacrificers in the beginning got it for this. The people today are even paying higher. They're even paying more than that. It's a big increase. My point is, there's a lot of discussion on social media. There's conversations going on. What should I do? Should I participate in the sacrifice or should I wait? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer. I don't know. It's a debate that's going on social media, people trying to decide what to do. Because the only way to get this product, the only way to get it is to continue sacrificing or purchase it from somebody else. But here it is at the bottom. It says that other people here, the people who bought it at this price, they're more than happy. They are very happy to dump at this price. Okay, right here. They're happy to dump it here because they're making 5,000%. So this might be an opportunity to wait until this goes live, when people receive their coin, when they receive their Pulse coin, and they start selling it. When they sell it, this might be a better opportunity to wait. Don't sacrifice now. Instead, wait. Help the project by being a buyer at launch. We don't know exactly when that launch is going to happen. We expect it to happen probably sometime in December, middle of December. But you got to pay attention. You got to, if you're interested, if this is something that catches your eyeball, that you might be able to go from here, because you possibly could be getting a better price. People are buying it right now, right this minute, paying a significantly higher value than these people did in the beginning. And those people in the beginning might be, maybe, willing to sell. And when they sell, you could get a better price than that. Okay, and it's all a big debate going on. What should I do? How do I get involved? So I'm gonna my next video pretty much will just explain other people that are putting content out there, and I will give you resources that you can continue on your own so that you can follow certain other YouTube channels. I'll give you that and give you that and tell you some other basic stuff, and then it's all up to you guys from there. Have a great day. Take care.